Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the second day of the 2021 Finnish Week of Business in Zambia. My name is Jan Koivu. I'm the Deputy Head of Mission and the Head of Cooperation at the Finnish Embassy here in Lusaka. And I will be your moderator for this morning. So our morning session, it is Forestry, Agriculture, and Agrotech Business Forum. We've got an exciting lineup of speakers. Each of them will speak for about between 5 and 8 minutes. There will be presentations, and this is followed by a discussion, a panel discussion, and feel free to write your questions in the chat as we go. I would ask you to keep your microphones on mute and your webcams off for the sake of bandwidth. So I think we are good to go. And our first speaker is Mr. Naku Chibwono. He's the CEO of Mankati Group Zambia Limited, and Naku is also the Vice President of the EU Zambia Business Club. Naku, the floor is yours. Do we have Naku on the line? Oh, I see, Naku, you're online now, so please turn on your microphone that your presentation is on the screen. The floor is yours. Naku, please turn on your microphone. Naku, we still can't hear you. Please turn on your microphone. Thank you. Apologies for this. We're just looking into the matter. So perhaps I think he's exiting now. Hopefully he will join us. So just bear with us for 1 minute. Thank you. Okay, what I think we will do while we wait for Naku, we will go to the next speaker. Or actually, it's a duo. So they are representing Ambitious Africa, So we've got Ms. Dia Madekgivi, who's the head of human resources, and Mr. Joseph Jacopo. He's the team lead of Ambitious Africa and co-founder of Great Zambezi Initiative. So I would give the floor to you guys, and if we are able to put up your presentation, that would be great as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you able to hear me now?
I am able to hear you loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. And Joseph, we have you here also, right? I'm not sure if Joseph is around. Could you check? He said he's in at least, but I'm not sure if he is a presenter. I had some some challenges to join as presenter as well. But yeah, if you could confirm that. But I think I can get started already. Good morning, everyone, and we're happy to be here. Representing Ambitious Zambia, which is our local team of this youth-led movement called Ambitious Africa. And we're going to talk about the youth empowerment and economic development through smart agriculture. And to begin with, I could introduce myself shortly. I am Dia Madekgivi, industrial management engineer from Finland, but based in Zambia. And I've been doing here different projects since 2017. And yeah, I'll start by telling shortly about Ambitious Zambia and youth empowerment. And then Joseph will continue about importance of agriculture and also what we've been doing lately. So basically, Ambitious Zambia is a grassroots movement with the mission to collaboratively reach sustainable development goals by enabling Zambian and Nordic youth to be in charge. So it's all about young people coming together and young people leading the change. And the approach we have is this like triple E model of Nordic core strengths: education, entrepreneurship, and entertainment. And we are boosting collaboration between Nordics and Zambia in these three areas, bringing people together, collaborating across the continents, and learning by doing. And we offer interesting environment for young people to develop their skills with the help of like team members, mentors, and advisors, as well as partners from Nordics as well. And in Zambia, we have started in July 2020. And we have a team now of 8 members. Half are from Nordics and half are from Zambia. And in addition to that, we also have a community of more than 120 people. And everything we've done so far, we've been just young people volunteering and willing to make the change. And here in the picture, you can see some of our team members, Joseph in the left and also me there in the middle. But yeah, so we focus quite a lot on youth empowerment. And in Zambia, our main focus has been in entrepreneurial activities to encourage young people to create jobs and future for themselves, while governments and companies cannot employ all the young people. And Africa is a continent for the future with a lot of opportunities, as well as Zambia. And together with the local people, we are excited to identify the challenges we're having here and then tackle them together. And when are we looking at the demographics, there is a lot of youth, like almost 40% of population in Zambia is young people below 35 years old. So there's a lot of potential for youth to create opportunities for themselves, learning by doing. And we believe that by empowering the young people, great things may happen. So yeah, that's shortly about Ambitious Zambia and also the youth empowerment. And I could move on to the next slide and give room for Joseph to continue. Do we have Joseph here?
Good morning. Are you able to hear me?
We are able to hear you, Joseph. Welcome.
All right, thanks a lot. I'm excited to be here, and like was rightly said by Tia, my name is Joseph Chakopo, and I am the team lead for Ambitious Zambia, as well as a founder of the Great Zambezi Initiative, which is on a journey to redefine the entrepreneur ecosystem in the southern part of Africa. So, my with regards to the first question being why have we as ambitious Zambia and of course the Great Zambezi decided to focus specifically on agriculture. I think at the core of this is the realization that number one, that Africa has rich and fertile soils. Number two is the fact that the agriculture sector is the single highest employment creator, contributing to about 2/3 of the working population here in Africa. And so agriculture has then become a core component of what we're doing, because we then understand and fully comprehend at once that the potential that lies in this sector in as far as job creation, youth empowerment, as well as economic growth is concerned is massive. Yes, so we've understood to say if people are adequately empowered, they have the skill sets, they have the knowledge, they have the networks are open as well. They're able to fully exploit the potential in the agriculture sector, and by so doing, they then begin to create job opportunities for other young people. And now, how do we exactly enable innovations related to smart agriculture in practice? So Ambitious Zambia has been collaborating with the Great Zambezi Initiative, which we like to call GZI, primarily in the execution of monthly boot camps, master classes, as well as the monthly innovation challenges that have been run by the Great Zambezi Initiative. And these monthly innovation challenges, we have had some that have been dedicated to agriculture, where we've been focused on smart food preservation, climate adaptation, smart mobility, urban farming, because we want to help unearth solutions that embrace the modern day technology trends, and as far as soil testing is concerned, and also just taking advantage of innovative farming methods. So during all these innovation challenges that are focused towards agriculture, we get to present situations, or rather problems, to all these people that come on board, the innovative people, and then they then begin to brainstorm solutions that have technology at their core. And so that is how we've been doing all these innovation challenges by collaborating Great Zambezi Initiative and Ambitious Zambia. So that is how the two have been focused on. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Thea and Joseph. So next up on my virtual list, we have Mr. Naku Chivono, who's reconnected. So Naku represents Manketi Group Zambia Limited. He's the CEO, and he's also the Vice President of the EU Zambia Business Club. So let's see if we can have Naku's slides up and microphone open. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Apologies for that. I'm speaking about technology, but I seem to be having technology challenges. My topic today is about technology-driven innovation, the panacea for transformation of the forestry and agricultural sectors in Zambia. Can move to the next slide, please. This is just an outline of the presentation. Introduction, technology opportunities in the agriculture sector, technology opportunities in the forestry sector, and then conclusions, recommendations. Next slide, please. So basically, the problem statement we're saying for the agriculture sector is that in Zambia, 60 or about 65% of the population is directly or indirectly dependent on the agricultural sector for their livelihoods. It's also the largest employer in the nation, yet prevalence of poverty in Zambia is estimated at about 78%. Zambia also has about 40% of the freshwater resources in the SADC region. This means that we should be performing much better in the agriculture sector than we are currently. On the forestry perspective, there's a lot of potential with respect to contribution to national development in terms of job creation and increasing country's export earnings. However, despite several initiatives over the years, the overall contribution of the forestry sector to export earnings and economic development as a whole remains quite small. Next slide, please. Opportunities for technology application in the agriculture sector include, I think, first and foremost, fintech, which financial technology, which can help in terms of increasing market access and price discovery. It can also contribute in terms of developing technological platform to match buyers and sellers. I think one of the biggest challenges in agriculture sector development, especially among SMEs, is market access. It's been described in many studies. Also, as an opportunity to introduce and scale up alternative energy solutions, and I'm happy, as what in the presentations yesterday, there was a lot of discussion around this, especially in the agricultural value chain, including irrigation. As we said, we've got 40% of freshwater in SADC, but also in terms of storage, in terms of maintaining the cold chain, which is preserving the value of agricultural produce, and also processing, which is the value addition services, where the real money comes in, and the packaging. Also, the use of technological platforms to support and enhance training and skills development amongst farmers. And this can be done both offline and offline. Next slide, please. For the forestry sector, technology innovations could be used in monitoring the growth and development of forest stocks, both in private and commercial, both in private and public forests. This can also be used in terms of developing baseline information that can be used in turn for creating carbon credit transactions or other green finance mechanisms, which are becoming very prevalent in the world. So with the forest resources that we have, we need to explore how we can get green financing into the country and into the industry. Technology can also help in terms of improving the harvesting and post-harvesting periods. We can also here introduce biomass to energy as a way of waste management, but also diversification and value addition within the sector. Like with the agriculture sector, technology platforms can also be created for training and skills development, as this seems to be severely lacking. And financial technology can also be employed to increase access to finance and also increased operational efficiency. Next slide, please. Conclusions, recommendations. I think, especially if you were following the presentations yesterday on circular economy, there's a lot of opportunity for Finnish companies to create strategic business-to-business partnership with Zambian companies. These can be facilitated through the AGS. There's also opportunities, I think, for export markets to be explored by Zambian companies in Finland as well as in Europe. Honey, I think, is one of the products, I think, that has a competitive advantage that we could push this with. And also, there's significant opportunity for economic and social impact arising from diversification and just using technology more in terms of both the agriculture and the forestry sectors. And these impacts can be felt both on a household level and a national level. With that, we come to the end of our presentation. If there are any questions, we can take them now or later. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Naku, for that presentation.
Thank you very much.
Next up on my virtual list, I have Miss Katja Väyrynen. She's an education expert from Riveria Vocational and Training. Riveria Vocational and Training provider based in the eastern part of Finland. And she will talk to us about ensuring skilled workers by vocational training and company collaboration. Katja, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jan. It is an honor to tell you about educational greetings from Joensuu, the forestry capital of Europe, actually. So my name is Katja Väyrynen. I'm working 20 years in vocational training and development of it, and also work as senior consultant. I will talk shortly about the role of education and how we provide skilled and responsible workers to the companies, and also meaning of collaboration with education providers, companies and authorities. You might know that 78% of Finland is forest, but here in Eastern Finland, we have it 85%. Forest and agriculture have given us job, but pretty hard and physical one. We can go further to the next slide, please. So planning and measuring, harvesting, planting, establishing sawmills, factories, creating wooden products and constructions, development of timber logistics, forest roads, and also conserving the nature. All these need skills of using machines, tools, and different methods, and also to do the maintenance work. So those are pretty great reasons to develop the education as well. There is over 100-year experience in Finnish research in bioforestry. So we have developed solutions, technologies, and education at university and vocational level based on that. We know why vocational education and training is important, why to educate operators and mechanists with development and digital skills. We also know why to support entrepreneurial skills and during the studies already, and we know how to create different kind of vet education to support industry and companies in their challenges in all fields. What we found useful, I usually say that those are success factors in forestry, especially in forestry. So in this picture, you see big descriptions of those. And first is forest management. Work done at Forest Ministry and Finnish Forest Center, Finnish Environment Center. They provide laws, policies, special competence and knowledge for all of us. Then comes second factor, planning and inventory. Those are based on forest data systems and research. Company called Argonaut develops, for example, timber assessment and forest inventory with remote sensing and LiDARs. Natural Resource Institute provides research-based data. And actually 90% of Finnish forests are certified, and this tells you something about meaning of data management in supporting the decision making. And of course, European Forest Institute offers data for all of us, as example about climate change mitigation, and even forest machines have their own data systems to support planning, working, and transportation processes. Third factor is work and process analysis. We call that optimizing, to do right things with right tool or machine in right time with preventive and developing actions. Measurement in skills and actions are part of work process and using technologies. So technology is the fourth factor. Tools, machines, logging solutions are developed user-based companies like John Deere, Kessler, Valtra, Ponsse, Wemans, Mantsinen, and all those are our important partners. So fifth element or factor is education. Education is needed for all of those, and we need continuous development of education. So Karelia University of Applied Science here in Eastern region offers a higher education, focusing, for example, low carbon construction competence. University of Eastern Finland educates forestry specialists and researchers for the future. But vet level, what is my background, is focusing on skilled workers and operators, tractor harvester, logger, excavator drivers, and we educate professionals, but also developers, entrepreneurs in different industries. Next slide, please. So in education, we use simulator pedagogy, we use practice fields, company training, but highlight the value of renewable nature and resources. We use data of working processes and do systematic collaboration with companies also in several other industries, such as metal industry or photonic. Vet School actually is like a living lab, providing testing, development, and research environment. And beside of education, we enhance capacity to the growth and innovations. Collaboration is developed based on work-life or company needs, and it has to be benefit companies in the long run. As example, we do plenty of shared projects. We developed simulator and those exercises with simulators. We creating useful education and training materials for companies and also for education center, and also videos and digital platforms, etc. So Finnish vocational education and training strengths are practicality, also how individual skills are taken into account and learners are supported to their best performance to get a job or establish a company, and based on several workplace experiences. About 50% actually our studies are done in companies, and often business and work processes are developed in collaboration with students and teachers. So it's good to know that also Finnish working safety is top of the Finland and in also top of the world. So that is very important issue as well. But also transversal skills, business skills, and digital literacy skills are combined to work processes, and theory really are combined to vocational training programs in all areas, and actually practical teaching methods are combined to work processes, and then theory really meets the practice, and competence developed during the training can be evaluated. Next slide, please. So what we can offer for Zambia? Education solutions is the name how we call it. So we do plenty of different kind of curricula development, teacher training development, company training programs, and how you can create different kind of learning environments, whether online or in existing world or teaching department in the companies. And then, of course, we offer different kind of services like evaluations, study visit. We offer webinars, for example, 4 times 6 hours about pedagogy, practical methods, digitalization, and education in different levels. How we can develop the competence through the life. Life is continuous learning. And then, of course, plenty of different kind of company trainings we also organize, and development of online training settings and platforms. But one thing is good to know also that the preparatory program is developed for students or people who have learning disabilities and they are not ready to go to the vocational training or university, but the basic skills has to be supported first. So that is something unique and suitable for all industries. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to help you to get impact, and in collaboration with universities, the providers and companies and researchers, we all will learn together. It is our job to keep our mind open and create better future by development of education and collaboration with work life. Thank you very much. Kiitos.
Thank you, Katja. That was very informative. I want to kind of just mention here before I let the next speaker on the floor that if any of these presentations are of interest to you and you would like to kind of further pursue direct contacts, this session will be followed by a B2B session. So kindly indicate it in the chat box if there is somebody, one of our speakers or panelists that you would like to kind of immediately follow up with on a bilateral level, and we will seek to facilitate that. So that's just as a reminder. And next up, we have another duo. We have Miss Eija Laitinen. She's the principal research scientist from Hammer University of Applied Sciences, so more to the kind of southern part of Finland. And we've also got Professor Kawanga Yambayamba. He's the Dean of the School of Agricultural and Natural Resources at Mulungushi University here in Zambia. So, Eija and Professor Yambayamba, please, the floor is yours. Okay, your mics are on, the presentation is up, so whenever you're ready, we are ready.
I'm not able to see the presentation.
The presentation, it is, I can see it on my screen, so it might be a bandwidth issue perhaps, but if you do have a kind of hard copy of the presentation, perhaps you could kind of use that to kind of take us through. And we can, of course, we can change the slides as we go.
And I don't have a hard copy of the same. Okay, there we go.
Okay, please.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Hey, I think, yes, your mic is on now. Hey, I'm afraid we can't hear you at the moment.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now you're loud and clear, so please go ahead.
I apologize. There was something that it was from this end, so I apologize for the fuss. So good morning, everyone, and greetings from Hämeenlinna. It's our pleasure to be here with you and introduce what we are doing and inviting you together with my colleague, Professor Yambayamba, to cooperate with us. So, Professor, you might want to greet everyone.
Thank you. Good morning to you all. My name is Kawanga Yambayamba, Dean of the School of Agriculture and Natural Resources at Mulungushi University. Mulungushi University is approximately 160 kilometers from the capital, Lusaka. Thank you.
So our framework of cooperation are these two projects, BBL BioAfrica and AgriScale, one funded by the European Union Brussels Erasmus program and the other funded by the Finnish Ministry for Foreign Affairs in Finland. And in these projects, which will last the next 3-4 years, our objective is to revise the curricula of agro-entrepreneurship education, both in Mulungushi and University of Zambia, which are the only public higher education institution in land-based sector in Zambia. The objective of these curricular reforms is to be able to provide education which would equip the graduates with hands-on skills on entrepreneurship. And our thinking is that this can only happen when we can cooperate with the companies. And this second slide gives a short overview on what entrepreneurship takes, what it takes to be an entrepreneur or what it takes to be entrepreneurial-minded employee. And here you can see courage, never giving up, recognizing opportunities, problem solving, creating. These are kind of skills that no school can organize courses that how you do this, but you have to be able to embed these into the curricula. And this is now what it is, the projects are about, because embedding into the curricula can only happen when we have cooperators from the society, meaning NGOs, companies, and all societal actors. So, Professor, please.
Yeah, yes, indeed. So in our curriculum reform implementation, we would like to impart work-life relevant skills and competences in the students so that we promote, teamwork, problem solving. I also want them to have critical thinking, innovativeness, self-directiveness, as well as cross-cultural and communication competences. And also imparting in them entrepreneurial mindset, that is very important, so that they have opportunities to work with enterprises or indeed, their own business ideas. Also, in these reforms, we'd like to promote collaborative learning ecosystem where academia, industry, and the societal partners work together. I think it is very, very important for this to collaborate. So in summary, we are working to create a network-based cooperation where companies would be our partners in developing and implementing curricula. So we also would like to have a living relationship where we learn from each other. We think that is very important. Next slide.
So how we do this in practical terms is that because we would like to get started from something tangible and understandable and something through which we can start building the trust and learning each other. So we hope to be able to organize what we call student field challenges, where international student teams work together with the real life case. And for that, we are inviting the companies to come together with us to give these real issues, call them problems, call them challenges, issues a company wants to know more about, or if a student has a business idea of himself, to work under the mentorship of international teacher teams to find solutions for these real life cases. The sizing of the challenge will be done by the teachers. So as long as the companies are interested in, we'll find a solution to cooperate. And then we move all together almost 400 students during the next few years, and yeah, Professor, maybe you want to continue that I'm not talking too much.
Well, it's just to welcome companies to partner with us. We'll be very happy to partner with the companies. There are lots of possibilities for cooperation between ourselves as public universities, Mulungushi University, University of Zambia, and the companies out there. So that cooperation is extremely important for us. So we welcome companies.
Yes, and so this would be a completely new way for the universities to start offering education, that it's not a university and company out there, but together. Even the planning process of the education and then the curricula implementation process. So like Professor says, we are pleading the companies join us. You will be share the slides if you are interested in. You will have all the contact information both from UNZA and from Mulungushi, and we are looking forward to productive and fruitful cooperation. And ready for your questions when the time comes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that presentation. And yes, rightfully so. So we will be sharing all the slides with the participants afterwards. Basically, after this 3-day conference, I think we will upload them onto Google Drive or something that people are able to download whichever presentation was of interest to them. Next up on my list, I have Miss Elizabeth Kivimäki. She represents Into Seinäjoki, so another part of Finland, now kind of moving north of where Dr. Eija is based, about 300 kilometers, and towards the western coast of Finland. And Elizabeth works as a key account manager. So I think we have her presentation, and Elizabeth, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Jan, and nice to see you after a long time. And well, first of all, so just for all the Zambian participants, I would just like to say that I love hearing the Zambian accent because I've lived in Zambia for 7 years, and Zambia is very close to my heart all the time. So can I change the slides myself, or?
Hi, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
You can take over if you want. Otherwise, you can just tell me next slide and I'll click through.
Okay,
it's
now
up to you.
I can't really see the option of taking over here, so maybe it's better if you just change the slides for me. So yeah, I'm representing the Seinäjoki region. Jan kindly already told you where about in Finland we are locating, so you can actually change to the next slide, please. Yes, so I'm representing Into Seinäjoki, which is a city-owned development company and a business center. So we are owned by the city, and we help companies in our region to succeed and grow their businesses, but we also try to help our companies to find new markets from abroad. So we have been also dealing with these African projects, and since we have a large network of companies, especially in the food business and agro industry here in our region, so we feel that there are a lot of opportunities for our involvement also in these joint projects that we might be working on also in Zambia. So next slide, please. And like said, so Seinäjoki region is Finland's food province, and this is because we have a very strong primary production and the food industry. Here we have bigger and smaller companies in different parts of the value chain, and we have a significant food cluster here in the region. Also, there is active investment in the industrial production in this area. And also we have a strong network of researchers and developers supporting this development in the region. So as you can see from the picture, so the whole food system is very well covered here. Next slide, please. So you can turn the next slide. Thank you. Yeah, so we could say that we are a center of, okay, now one back. So, yeah, okay, so now on the slide where you could see the logos of companies, so that one, okay, this one, yes. So we are a center of food business, industry and manufacturing. And you can see some of the logos there of our very well-known companies in the region. So we have a high concentration of food business companies, and 30% of Finnish agrotechnology companies and food industry machine construction is actually here in South Ostrobothnia. And 20% of Finnish foodstuff industry is located in our region, if you measure it by turnover. And the whole skill cluster in South Ostrobothnia is very huge. And it includes also top companies from different system segments. So the combined turnover of these companies is approximately 3.2 billion euros, and the whole share of the GDP of this region is nearly 63%. So you can see that it is really a remarkable industry in our area. And we would like to share our expertise and know-how also with Zambian companies. So next slide, please. And like you have already heard in the previous presentations yesterday and so on, so Finland is known for quality in our solutions. So Finnish agrotechnology is recognized internationally, and we have world-leading technology. And one reason for this is also that the companies are investing significantly back into research and development. And there have been several Finnish company consortiums that have been collaborating and providing Finnish solutions abroad. So our aim is to try to solve global challenges with our technology and know-how. And we are also known for our strong commitment to safe food, the monitoring systems and quality control, also origin and responsibility issues. Next one. And what we aim to do is to offer holistic solutions for entire value chains. And I could just point out one good example from Namibia. We have had a project there called Bush Project, where we tried to find solutions to like some challenges that they were facing in Namibia, especially with the acacia bush. We aim to turn challenges into opportunities with our solution that we have been providing there. So there was this Finnish company called JPT Industria that has actually supplied a feed factory to Namibia to start their own local feed production in Namibia. And there are also other Finnish companies in the same consortium providing the holistic solution there. And of course, all of this has been done in very close collaboration with local stakeholders. So what we aim to achieve with this kind of a project is the market intelligence, where first you need detailed technical and economic feasibility studies, and then we would like to transfer Finnish technology and do field testing, also adaptation and demonstration and pilot programs, how the system works. And then one really important pillar here is also capacity building. So we feel that it is really important to also take on board educational institutions and offer training programs also to enhance agro-industrial know-how for sustainability. And for this Namibia project, the direct effects will cover farming and productivity, then sustainable use of land, renewable fodder, job creation, and also enhanced expertise. And there are also indirect effects that cover sustainability, land use planning, gender mainstreaming, and good governance. Next slide, please. So I would just like to highlight a few companies from our region. I can also share a link to a booklet where you can find more company profiles of companies in our region. So next slide, please. So here you can just see a few examples. And on the first day yesterday, you already heard the company case of BioRaiser. I'm really proud to say that BioRaiser is also from Seinäjoki. So they represent our expertise and know-how too. And then the company that I already mentioned, JPT Industria, that has supplied the feed factory to Namibia, and they provide complete animal feed manufacturing plants. Then we have also Cometos in our region. I think many of Zambians have also heard about Cometos. They provide modular food production facilities. And they also have these Finn modules units, for example, for uses in slaughterhouses or for meat, fish or vegetable processing facilities. Then we have this Teuvan Keitintehdas. They manufacture mobile kitchen products to be used in very extreme conditions, and they have expertise already since 1925. And then we have Junkkari. They supply agricultural and forestry machines, and they have really highly automated models available. Then next one. Next slide, please. It's not changing for me. Okay, yeah. So then we have farm tools. So they have fuel oil tanks for agriculture, forestry, and also construction industry. Then we have Pellon Group. They provide automated feed line systems. Then we have Forest Food. They manufacture fresh product equipment. So they have expertise in the whole process of processing salads and vegetables. And then as a final example, we have Tankki that manufactures vessels and equipment for various industrial areas. So they design mixing solutions for different applications. Just to mention a few companies. So if you are interested to hear more about these companies, so you can get in touch with me, or you can turn the next slide also. With my, I think it's only having my contact information there. So you are welcome to get in touch with me directly also. So here a few highlights from Seinäjoki region. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much, Elizabeth, for that presentation. And please do share that link you were referring to regarding that booklet of companies in your region and in the sector here in the chat box as well. So that was our presenters, and I would like to open the floor for some questions to our presenters. And while you still think about some questions, I will start. So my first question would go out to Mr. Naku Chivuno. And the question would go that how has COVID impacted the business or businesses here in Zambia?
Thank you for that question, Jan. Very, very, very good question. I think we've seen a general slowdown. Let me just take off my camera so that I save the bandwidth. I've been having some challenges. We've had some significant problems in terms of economic slowdown impacted by COVID. COVID has been a one-off event, but it's been very, very detrimental to the economy. However, on the other side, there's a saying that says necessity is the mother of invention. And so the use of technology such as what we're using now to have a meeting has really escalated. And when you look at it in terms of the agriculture and forestry sectors, it is clear that we can now use technology to reach farmers and to do training and development, whereas before it would have been quite expensive. So on one hand, there have been negative impacts economically, but on the other hand, it has shown us that it is possible to use technology to develop the sectors at a much cheaper cost than before COVID. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Naku. Good answer. So my next question, unless there are questions from our participants, I can't see any in the chat box. I don't think so. Okay, actually there is one. Does Seinäjoki also support medical herbs extraction and processing units or factories? So I think this one would go to Elizabeth.
Yeah, well, it's not our strongest area of expertise, the whole health technology industry, but we do have actually one medical plant here that are focused on herbs and extractions of herbs. So I could share more information and a link to maybe their website also in the chat.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. So my next question would be, this would actually be going towards Thea and Joseph in terms of what kind of collaboration and partnerships is Ambitious Africa looking for?
Yes, thank you so much for a question, Jan. I can pick it up. Well, in general, we are willing to collaborate with all and bring people together with the similar visions. And mainly we're looking for collaboration with the universities as well as non-profit organizations. We already started good discussions with EIA and HAMK, and we're happy to proceed with those discussions, for example. But also we've been able to attract corporate partners to join our journey in global level. So if you're falling under any of these, please contact us and let's share thoughts how we can build the bridge together. And yeah, we're always open for more contributors and volunteers as well as advisors to join our journey. So yeah, I shared our contact details in the chat, and they were also in the last slide of our presentation. So yeah, happy to be in touch.
Okay, and there's actually a follow-up question for you in the chat box. I'll just read it out for you. Ambitious Africa mentioned their innovation challenges. What types of innovations have come out of those challenges?
Yes, do we still have Joseph here? I think he would be better person to respond on that. But I know that there is at least more than 55 startups in different areas. Quite many of them focused on agriculture that have came up from the innovation challenges, and now we are proceeding their acceleration further with this pre-acceleration program that we are starting actually this Wednesday together with Great Zambezi Initiative and Tampere Entrepreneurship Society.
Oh, that's great. Tampere is my hometown, so it always warms my heart when I hear that they are involved. My next question would go to Katja. I note that the chat is getting very lively. There are requests for some contacts to be shared. For example, Elizabeth, if you are able to share your contact details once again with in the chat box, I think Joyce would appreciate that. And then there's also a request from Doreen in terms of finding contacts that have machinery for processing oils and biodiesels. Yes, so my question goes to Katja. What are the basic skills in vets to be ensured in training before technical subjects? And what are the lessons learned from company collaboration?
Okay, in Finnish vet vocational training in all field of study, actually, we of course teach the use of leading technologies, but we take good care of those basics. And just few to mention is property management. So we start to change attitude that everything is someone's property and they have financial significance and value. And then, of course, we talk about the working process, but it's not adopted yet. So there has to be desire and enthusiasm to succeed and learn. And teacher's role is to support that and emphasize the meaning of one's own role in learning. And then, of course, comes understanding of working processes and analyzing skills to manage work entities. And what important is, for example, in forestry, is that understanding the daily care and maintenance of machines and tools, acting responsible, respecting the rules, and then taking into account the sustainable development rules and instructions. So in forestry, also knowledge of wood and species is very important before you go and act there as a worker or student even. And then important work-life roles, competencies are, of course, dialogue, collaboration, and independent working attitude, what we try to support. And then work-life skills to do on-the-job training or work in a company based on company requirements. And actually behind all this is great teacher training. So it is very important that to support and educate teachers as well, that that we do with Soprano and Riveria and in our consortium, that we educate teachers continuously. So in any questions about teacher training, so I'm happy to have those later. But lessons learned, what we have, that is also the big question. But great thing is that we can create new solutions together. We can really enhance business by sharing ideas and development projects nationally or internationally, and we really can open the students' eye what kind of competencies they need and how they can value themselves as a worker, not only worker attitude but also developer attitude. And then of course companies develop themselves when they know what education providers can do and how we can support them to manage the challenges for the future, and we support improving the productivity in the companies. So I can't underline the meaning of company training and collaboration enough.
Okay, thank you for that answer, Katja. And as I mentioned, the chat is going viral, and we do have a good team next door taking up all of these requests in terms of, you would like to be connected with somebody, for example, Tanani Farms on leafy vegetables and chicken processing, etc. Then there is a question from Catherine, and I'm not sure who this is actually addressed to, but it's the question goes, are research institutions part of the organizations you are partnering? So this might go to, I'm actually not sure. So perhaps, Catherine, if you're able to specify that in the chat box, and then the relevant individuals could respond in the chat. But while we wait for that, I have another question for Dr. Aya and Professor Yamba. So basically, in your presentation, you strongly emphasize the call for companies to kind of cooperate and collaborate with your project. So perhaps for the latecomers, etc. Could you just kind of very specifically indicate what are the benefits for a company from the sort of higher education institution cooperation? Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. This is indeed a very relevant question, and in the chat box there was also Miss Anna Erkkilä asking that if companies are interested in. If I would first invite Professor Yamba to kind of envision from his point of view that what this would bring for company, and if you allow, then I could tell an example that what can it bring for a company. But Professor Yamba, if you would be kind to get started, that what would the companies get working together with you, please?
Thank you very much. A very, very good question. Certainly through cooperation between academia and companies, the benefits for industry are immense. Actually, companies, both Zambian, Finnish companies would immensely benefit from student internships or attachments. Other benefits would include new solutions and business opportunities. Where there is cooperation, there are always new opportunities. Co-creation and the innovation processes So, in the company product or service design processes, there would be continuous input from academia. Then developing and testing new products would be another benefit for industry. Building new business models, creating new innovation ecosystems, and again, very, very important for industry would be at the end of the day, they would be recruiting competent graduates because, they will be part of curricular development as well as reviews of those to improve on our curricula so that at the end of it, we have got, we produce competent graduates. So all these are benefits to industry, and therefore we once again call upon, companies to cooperate with us. Thank you.
So thank you, Professor Anjan. If you just shortly allow me to continue. So it's kind of win-win process for the university and for the companies to be updated what is needed and what can we do together to make the sustainable future, because this is the role of the universities, to make the sustainable future. And because this might sound a bit kind of distant, what Professor said, this is what will happen, but how it gets started. We are now working, we have a possibility in Finland to work with a chocolate company, so sweet and so complicated issue. So the company started with a small thing that they wanted us to find background information for their improved business models. And it started from very small, but it has enlarged to a huge thing that now dozens of students are already working with that case to find solutions for utilizing cacao buy and side streams, developing these new products and solutions, considering environmental aspects, doing laboratory tests for the companies. And actually, we have ended up in joint projects. So everything is based on trust, that the company realizes there are benefits and the university with the students can deliver. And if you start from small, then it grows. And to Anna's question, if Zambian companies have shown interest, these projects are now very young. We have started these issues that have been discussed here. There are extensive training programs going on pedagogical for the teachers. There are curricular revisions going on, and now this timing of the seminar, thank you for this opportunity, was just the best possible to call for these partnerships, because now we start looking for the companies spreading the word out that this we could do together, but our success lies on the company cooperation. So please hear the plead. Thank you.
Thank you for that, for those comments. And yes, we do have a healthy turnout of companies present today. So I do encourage you to get in touch with Dr. Aya and Professor Yamba. They have shared their contact details in the chat box as well. I picked up one question here in the chat box. So there's a question of are there companies in Agrotech doing data mapping, drones, spraying drones, smart moisture, pH test meters for remote field collection, etc.? And also a follow-up question on coding in agricultural sustainable for primary and secondary students. So if somebody would like to address that issue, you can do it in the chat box as well. And I'm just looking that I'm not missing any questions. There was also a question or a kind of a request to work with companies in veterinary medicine. Somebody has reacted to that as well. And then there's the issue on issues of sustainable land management in agricultural and forestry. There's a contact for you in the chat box. And let me just see if I have missed out on anything. Oh, the Natural Resources Institute of Finland. So do have a look at that input as well, because they are in the process of starting something very exciting here in Zambia, jointly with the European Union. And yes, I'm not seeing any further questions at this time. I would, okay, so there's one more request. So our team will pick up all of these connection requests, and we should have all of your details. However, Dalitso, if you're able to indicate your whole name so that we are able to contact you directly as well. So please write your name into the chat. I think there are companies dealing in agro-processing. If any of the participants would like to kind of indicate that, please do so in the chat room as well. And as I'm conscious of time, we have about 5 minutes before we will move on to the, for those companies who have some pre-identified matches, their matchmaking will start at 1:15. This main room, so to say, it will remain open, the chat will remain active, and we will seek to address any questions and comments you may have. And yes, please also have a look at www.agsprogram.org. That could be one mechanism worth exploring, and it is funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Finland. And perhaps if I will slightly alter from my program and perhaps just allow the team leader, Gareth Evans, to say a couple of words on the AGS program to those of you who were not able to catch his presentation yesterday. So Gareth, if you are able to. So Gareth, you're coming here and I will just hand you the microphone. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Jan. It's good to sit in your hot seat. I think you moderated that very well. Wonderful to hear from all of the companies involved here in Zambia and looking to get involved here in Zambia. We're really excited to see that Finland is committed to growing agriculture and forestry here, not just as a social good, but looking at it from a business perspective. And so looking at the skills that are required to do that long term and make it sustainable and profitable. I think that's a big focus and factor in how we can really scale up these industries here in Zambia and benefit a lot of people. I think as we go into this B2B session, I think it's a great opportunity for those companies that have those sessions pre-identified and set up. And we really hope you take advantage of those. For those of you who haven't had those B2B sessions set up yet, please do continue to engage with us here at AGS. You can contact us through our website, and we have a team here that are dedicated to working with both Zambian and Finnish companies and with the matchmaking and ensuring that we're able to help businesses grow. So thank you all so much for today. Some really great questions and great to see the participation in the chat and in the panel. We look forward to continue to work with you and hearing from you all soon. So thank you very much. I'll hand it back to Jan.
Okay, so I hope that was a informative little bulletin just provided by Gareth in terms of what AGS is able to provide. And do not hesitate to get in touch with Gareth and the team based here in Lusaka. I think that brings us more or less to the end of our kind of session. And I would like to thank all of you for participating this morning. And do stay tuned in this room if there is still some ongoing questions. or if you would like to have a B2B, please get in touch with us through the chats, and we will facilitate that for you, or then at a latter stage, as Gareth mentioned. So thank you for this session, and for those of you who are participating in the afternoon session, kindly note that will be held on a separate Zoom platform, and you should all have received the invitation to that from our partner, Finn Partnership. And on this particular platform, we will re-engage with you tomorrow morning, starting 9 o'clock. And there we have a specific focus on education. So thank you for this morning session, and we will leave the chat open. Bye-bye.